Yes, folks, we realize Kickstarter is one word. Welcome to another episode of Kickstarter Corner. Hey folks, welcome back. It's Kickstarter Corner, episode number 10, I believe.
Yeah.
And we got 7 Kickstarters apiece, 14 total, plus an extra little bonus thing at the end. We're going to get right into it. Haas, why don't you start us off?
All right. So first on my list is a book by someone that we've mentioned a couple of times on Kickstarter Corner. This is Unicorn Vampire Hunter. This is a number 1, but this is a special limited edition silver kind of foil metallic cover that he's doing for this one. It's part of the Make 100 stuff that they do on Kickstarter every year. So this is going to be super limited and only available for this campaign. What's really cool about this, though, I'm not going to read you the solicitation, and here's why. In the campaign, there is a link to a digital copy of the book for you to read. So if you decide you want it and you want that special edition, definitely recommend it. I personally recommend it. He will recommend it. We've got a couple of Caleb's books. This is one of them. We've got Vampire Detective in Space. He just does really, really cool, unique things with vampires. But yeah, if you are a fan of friendship, unicorns that just have a penchant for killing vampires, and wizards, this is definitely a book that will tick all those boxes for you. So, as I said, it is written and created by Caleb Palmquist. Art is by Daryl Toe, and letters by Dave Lentz. And then the cover is done by Matthew Warlick. So, This campaign, I believe, is fully funded, and it ends on January 29th, so definitely jump on it pretty quick, because by the time we post this video, you'll probably have about a week to 10 days. But yeah, I figured I'd start out with something familiar, something we all love and know, and a Dave Lentz reference.
You know, something really quick side note before I jump into mine. So, it won't happen for a couple of weeks, but Space Cadets, the show that Jenna has with Bean and Alfie, and Caleb, I'll definitely tag you when this video comes up. They were looking through Kickstarters, and Alfie mentioned this really cool one she saw. She thought it was really interesting.
Yeah.
And when she started talking about it, I was in the background because I'm a producer on that show. And I was like, why does that sound so familiar? And when they pulled it up, it was Unicorn Vampire Hunter. So Caleb, I'll tag you when we release the video on that. I'm going to make sure I get a copy to Alfie so she can read it. Like I said, it was super cool to hear them talk about it. It'll be up in a couple weeks, but like I said, I'll tag you in it. But let's get to the first one on my list, from Bad Bug Mature. This is going to be Bobby Joe and the Appalachian Alien Apocalypse. It's going on right now. It's already funded, and it ends Thursday, February 9th. This is a not safe for work grindhouse comic. Take a joyride with a short-tempered redhead who moonlights as an alien hunter in 70s era Appalachia. Should be an awesome time. This one is written by Scott Wilkie. The art is by Michael Main. Letters by Dave Lentz. The creative director was Mike Tiener. And it was edited by John McLeod. And John, I hope I'm saying your last name right. It looks like McLeod. It could be McLeod. So I apologize if I butchered it. If you happen to see this video, let me know down in the comments if I said it right or not. But yeah, that's the first one I got. Bobby Joe.
Yeah. Bad Bug's starting strong this year.
Yeah.
Alright, so this next one is a book published by a company called Red Sea Comics. I've talked about them on a previous episode. They did The Saturn Effect, which was a book that I had talked about previously. I have been wanting to check out something from them for a while. For whatever reason, they always just seem to have a campaign either when I didn't know or I just had already reached kind of my funding limit for the month. this time around, it worked out perfectly that I'm able to get a 1 and 2 and check out their universe. So this is called Control plus Z. It's actually CTRL plus Z on the cover. This, when I read the solicitation, I was like, this is an interesting concept that I don't think I've ever, well, I can't say that I don't think I've ever seen, but it's a really cool way to do it. So I'll read it for you. It's Control Z is set in a world where humanity has migrated to a post-physical existence, a simulation called Cyberscape. Divided into 3 main servers, all with varying levels of access to editing the simulation around them, but the lower levels possess no privileges at all. Idolin, I hope I pronounced that correct, is a sentry or a moderator for the simulation. When people go missing, it is up to them to find out the source of the disappearances and their connection to a mysterious foe named the admin. The art looks really cool. Big time sci-fi is your thing, which I've always kind of enjoyed some sci-fi stuff and comics especially.
Yeah.
I'm excited to check this out. The art looks amazing, great colors. And like I said, I've been wanting to see something from Red Sea for a while. They do have a website, which we will link down in the description below, because you can buy quite a bit of their catalog now already. So like the Saturn Effect and a few other things. So if I like this, I will probably jump on their website and get a few more of the books and whatnot. They have almost complete arcs ready to go.
Oh, awesome.
So this one, again, this one is funded and it ends February 8th. So jump on board if that sounds like something that's up your alley. You can snag yourself a copy and you're guaranteed to get something at this point.
Very cool. A lot of computer jargon.
Yep, I'm sitting there, I'm like, huh.
The admin, the moderator, Control Z, which is a shortcut. Can't remember what shortcut Control Z is, but
Nonetheless,
that sounds really cool.
yeah. And for the non-computer guy over here, I'm just like Bergen, Schmerken, Turken, Durkenburn. That's me.
Yeah, that's true. The next one I have on my list is actually one Jenna found. It's called Crossroads, and it's a mystery horror comic from Biku Comics. It's going on right now. The last time I checked, let me do one little check. It was about $1,800 away from the goal. So there's still some time. It ends Friday, February 10th.
Nice.
So yeah, still some time to go. About 21 days. Now, I was kind of lazy with this one, so I'm gonna read part of the synopsis because it's a pretty lengthy synopsis. So I'm gonna read the best part of it. What is Crossroads? Brothers Everest and Temperance have been given a simple task: spread their estranged father's ashes on a cross-country road trip following a route the family would take when they were children. Once close friends, the brothers haven't seen each other in 3 years, and neither are as they remembered. Everest has gone from a promising young police officer to a pill-popping drunk, following the loss of his partner, while newlywed Temperance is balancing law school and an ever-growing panic disorder. As the brothers learn to navigate their relationship again, the weeks-long road trip takes an unexpected turn. Their late father was an urban legend hunter, and their inheritance, like it or not, is to pick up where he left off. So I can see why Jenna would like this. I didn't read this until now, and that definitely sounds awesome. Now, there's not a whole lot of information on the team on the page. This was created by Boya, Bear, and B, I believe is, yeah. You can go to bq.pro to find more info on the team. It just wasn't on there. It wasn't on the Kickstarter. But sounds super interesting. Definitely sounds up Jenna's alley. More than likely up mine too. So super excited to see that. So go check that out. And just like we're going to repeat probably 30 million times through the video, make sure you check the description because that's where links for everything is going to be at. So, all right, what you got next?
Again, another familiar face. This is, again, a series that we have talked about ad nauseum. Spider Squirrel. the first volume actually kind of finished up late last year. Actually, no, mid last year. I got the book late last year. But now they've got volume 1 up as a full trade on Kickstarter. But the good news is that there are a lot of extras. This is extended well over 100 pages now. There is a 10-page epilogue introducing the librarian, which is one of 7 enigmas being introduced in the Zion Studios comics, which I believe is Charlie's universe that he's doing.
Nice.
Not to mention never before seen art, some different covers, a whole bunch of extras. It's not just here's volume 1 and that's all you're getting. For the money, you are getting a lot of extras in these books. There's also a very limited edition one that you get signed with a certificate of authenticity, which is what I backed, because I'm like, if I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that, because that's basically what I've been doing from the beginning, and I've gotten the limited edition movie poster covers. That's kind of the theme with this series for me. This is for those who like superhero stories that are not super serious. Like, they're serious, but they're not. Think of like Guardians of the Galaxy. There is a serious plot, there's serious things going on, but it's funny. It's a little lighthearted, so it keeps you engaged, and you're not just like, oh my god, this is dark and depressing. I love DC. I love DC books, but that is one thing you can definitely say about them and a few other characters in the Marvel Universe. They get a little dark. So this is definitely for you folks that like to have more smiles and laughs in your hero stories than you do maybe oohs and ahs and tears. I bet it's probably the best way I can think of to put it. Again, this is funded. It funded, I want to say, within 48 hours or less. And it ends on February 11th. So it's definitely plenty of time to snag a copy for yourself. There are add-ons available for single issues of Spider-Squirrel if you just want regular covers, if that's kind of your thing. And other books, like I think Milestone is another one that Charlie's written. So there's a few other of the books that you can get in this universe to check out as well.
Yeah, let me just talk about Mr. McKelvey for just a second.
The fact that he looks just like the character.
Exactly. One of these days, Charlie, you gotta cosplay as Spider-Squirrel. You have to. You are a creator that was like, you know what? I don't want anybody else to play this in a TV show or a movie. I'm gonna look like my own character.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, I hope that's a tier in one of your campaigns, or something.
Yeah, if we read, that's a stretch goal. It's
Yes,
like
there you go.
you'll come to a convention and you're dressed as Spider-Squirrel while you're signing books.
Yeah, it's amazing. I gotta be super honest. I've only read one issue. I'm very much, especially when it comes to Kickstarter stuff, I will get the books, but it's usually when they get put into trade form, I'll go back and read everything at one time. But that's just me. I'm weird like that. I'll collect it, but I want the collected edition to read it all at once. But
at least you read the issue that's got the big Street Fighter panel. There. That's the one I love. I love that page.
So great.
I will talk about that page till the day I die. It's so cool.
Now, the next one on my list, my goodness, I cannot thank Dave enough, because we've become friends with the entire team on this one.
What this is.
This is going to be Pocus Hocus, Volume 2, Chapter 1. Now, it hasn't launched yet, but it's launching on the 24th. So make sure, we're still going to put the link in there. Make sure you click that notify me on launch. And for all these Kickstarters, even if you personally aren't into them, make sure you share them out. There's bound to be somebody out there that's going to be like, oh, that looks awesome. But, you know, I'm not gonna go too far into the Pocus synopsis. I think we have plenty of videos on the channel that...
Yeah.
But I will say this. In this new issue, you have Pocus and company traveling through Lilith's realm, searching for his soul. Seen some pictures, stuff of nightmares. Brian has really outdone himself on this one. I can't wait. Cannot wait to back this. Pocus was created by Alan Dunford and Will Radford. Art by Brian Belando. Colors by Jason Smith. And, of course, lettered by Dave Lentz. You'll always notice a theme when it comes to Kickstarters. Especially the ones that Dave works on, they're going to be on our list. We're going to find a way to get a hold of them. But so yeah, that's Pocus Hocus, Volume 2, Chapter 1.
Yeah.
What you got next?
All right, so this next one is a series that I have seen several times. Actually, we all have. Everybody here has seen this series. It's not anything that's new. This is Patriotica Rebirth.
Ooh.
I think I have a Patriotica #1 somewhere in the house,
Mm-hmm.
buried in my boxes, which are that way somewhere. But this is created and art done by Ron Z. He does everything for the book, from what I could see on the Kickstarter page. So the basic rundown of it is Athena is a descendant of the goddess of the same name. Combined with college student Aaron, they fight gods, monsters, ninjas, and shadow wraiths. Divided and with new friends and powers, they meet their greatest threat yet. That's basically where we are for this one. This is one of those. It's a booby book. That's the best way to put it. That's a lot of Mount Olympus. Their characters and whatnot are like this, but nonetheless, it's still some really good art. If you're a fan of Zenescope and like what we consider their heyday, which is like the 20 teens, mid 20 teens to the late 20 teens, that's what this is going to look like. That's what it's going to feel like story wise, but it's going to have somebody in a red, white, and blue outfit. So it's super cool. You can imagine this book, books like this, it's funded. It's very funded. So if you back this one, any and all stretch goals you're going to have, and then some. If he might even have to make some stuff up. I want to say the goal was like 5,000, and they're at 30 or 40.
Whew.
It's just, it's like Gaslighters. Gaslighters always has this very modest goal, and they just sail past it. So that's basically what this is. And if it sounds like something you're interested in, like I said, you'll get that and a whole lot of extras. This ends on February 3rd. So you've got about a week and a half from the time of when this goes up. Yeah, about 10 days, 10, 11 days.
Nice. So now we're going to have a little combo, because this next book is another bad bug book, and a bad bug mature book at that, and that is Death Knell #2.
Oh God, this book.
We back #1. I've read the digital. We haven't got the physical in just yet, but hilarious. This thing is very, very, very not safe for work. And this is kind of along the same lines of Pocus in the fact that it hasn't exactly launched yet, but it is launching on the 31st. So pretty close together to get both of those books. The synopsis for this one is Nell is a 20-something-year-old student at a necromancer university with one major problem: her libido. Loved issue 1. We're gonna jump on this one. Now, the reason why I said this is kind of a little bit of a mashup is we got a different writer on this one. This is going to be written by Alan Dunford. So I am super excited to see what he's going to bring to the table on this one.
Comedy and amazingness and witty jokes. That's Alan Dunford in a nutshell.
True. Like I said, the first one was pretty funny. So seeing where Alan takes it, definitely exciting. This is colored by Bruna Costa. The art is by Comrie Lapka, edited by John McLeod, and created, it said, by Mike Tiener. And Mike is kind of like a Garrett, in my viewpoint. Even though he doesn't work on every single Bad Bug book, Mike creates so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait till eventually we have a crossover with something. Not just the print, the really cool print, but yeah, that's Death Knell #2. Super excited to check that one out.
Well, it's like he asked one time, he goes, "What would you like to see from us?" I said, "A murder mystery that's a crossover with all your characters in your universe." And I don't know who he would choose to be the killer, but I think it would be utterly hilarious. True. And then in Midnight Highway 3, there's some vamp scouts that just need a side story all their own that would just be utterly hysterical. Alright, so next on my list is a book called Illumon. I think that's how it's pronounced. Illumon. Illumon. Hopefully that's correct. So Illumin, Seven Rays of the Sun, Book 1. This is like an 80-page novel. This is by Sean Daly. If that name sounds familiar, it should. Mm-hmm. Sean Daly is a 2-time Ringo-nominated cartoonist. He's worked on books such as My Life as the Enforcer, Arn Anderson, with the amazing Dirk Manning.
Nice.
He's worked on Ogre, which is a book we have here. And then he has also worked on Samurai Grandpa.
Oh, okay.
So when I saw the art, I was like, man, that art looks so familiar. And I saw the name, and then I'm like, and he tells you some of the books where I'm like, no wonder I like what I'm looking at so much. We have Ogre, we have a trade here, a couple of singles. I have the Samurai Grandpa trade. We're getting Arn Anderson, My Life as the Enforcer. So we are very familiar with Sean's work on the art side of things. On the writing side, he told this story, he said, because he liked monster games, monster catching games, and he likes comics. So he said, why not put the two together? Because he still does both to this day. Obviously, he does the comic part, but so that's why he decided to do this book. It's very fun. I actually am going to pull up my handy dandy phone.
I'm not the only lazy one.
This synopsis is long. I'm trying to figure out how much of this to actually read. But yeah, so let's see. In a bright, curious world brimming with light-born monsters called Illumin, Kano Vosh is hailed as Halora's finest monster catcher, or she would be if the world hadn't began to wither when the seven fabled Illumin, legendary creatures preserving all life on Halora, were awoken and captured by Kano's misguided sister, Anima Vosh. Wonder if I should just leave it there.
Probably. No, it sounds like Illumination mixed with Pokemon. It's like
yeah, a little
Limon.
bit.
Yeah.
But basically, now it's 3 years later, I think, when the book starts. And I'm going to let Jay kind of look through some of the art here, because he'll notice it's very familiar as soon as he sees it. But that's basically where it starts taking place. It's, so it's, like I said, it starts 3 years later, and Kano, with her little impressionable monster that she befriended, or Illumin, are going through everything and trying to find these fabled creatures and meet up with her sister. So I think it's going to be a lighthearted, fun, hysterical story. Just based on the art, I like Sean's style. It is great. This is done in like watercolors and inks, so it's going to be a very cool looking book overall. So I am excited to see what it looks like. I have not actually backed it yet. I am probably going to. I'm just going to put that out there. But yeah, so as of now, it is funded. So you will get a copy of this 80-page book. And it ends on February 5th. So you've got a little over about 2 weeks from the time this video comes to check it out and snag a copy for yourself.
Awesome. So, I'll go ahead and tell you all, when it comes to this next book, the videos for this are going to be out of order. Reason being is, this next book, I literally just got issue 1 a couple days ago and shot an unboxing video for it. This is Bad Wolf number 2. Haven't been able to read Bad Wolf number 1 yet, but this is by John Stewart, the same writer of Gaslighters.
Oh,
which is
not the Green Lantern. Okay.
Not the Green Lantern.
Okay.
Still a cool name every time.
I know.
That unboxing should be coming Monday, by the way. But, so, Bad Wolf 2 is going on right now. Already funded, which, not a surprise.
No.
And this one ends Wednesday, February 22nd.
Oh, you had a while on this one. Okay.
Yeah. So, here's part of the story. So, I tried to pick the most non-spoilery part of it, because this is issue 2. A werewolf soldier named Lupita finds herself caught in a war that has her hunting her own kind to preserve mankind's way of life. Like I said, love Gaslighters. Just got the hardcover, backed issue, I think 5 or 6. This is one of those ones that makes me break my rule. I find more and more I am breaking that rule of getting one issue and waiting for a trade.
Yeah, but in fairness, to be foul,
To be foul.
John has some of the coolest covers.
Yeah.
And the problem is, there's like 36 of them a campaign. I don't even want to know how many there are with this, but it's kind of hard when you see a cover and you want it. I can definitely say that I took one of the Gaslighters, I think it was number 3 cover that they have here. That's in an upcoming cover challenge video. And you'll see what I mean about how awesome these covers are. There are a lot of them. Some of them are pretty juicy.
Yes.
Some of them are just fun. I mean, and then there's anything in between. So I can only imagine that this series is just like Gaslighters, and that actually since I actually know nothing about this, is this a little more lighthearted, or is it about the same?
I literally have not read it
Oh
yet.
wow. Okay, so he has nothing.
Even I wanted to read the digital, but the physical was so close to being here that I was like, I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh, we're gonna do a Kickstarter corner video that we just decided we were gonna do today or yesterday or something.
Or whatever. Yeah, just whatever.
But so this one is written by Jon Stewart, penciled by, and I hope I get this right, Diego Jack, inks by Gianluca Spampanato, and colors by Maja Opacek. Again, if I butchered any of your names, I apologize. Unless your name is Bob Smith, I'm not good with names. But please correct me. Please, I always ask everyone to correct me down in the comments. I want to make sure that I get your name right. But yeah, that's Bad Wolf number 2. Again, it ends Wednesday, February 22nd. Plenty of time, already funded. You're going to get it. Awesome.
Alright, so this next one is going to be a bit of a small sad face, because this one, by the time the video is up for everybody to see, will probably end within a few hours, if not already by the time. But it was so cool, I had to at least talk about it. So this is called Grimspace. The way the title is written is Grimspace P1/Nokia one-shot. It is basically Pinocchio. This is a very sci-fi twist on the Pinocchio story. And it is a spin-off one-shot from the writer, who is Frank Martin's Grimspace, that he has. And you can get the book on Frank's website, franktherewriter.com. And I went and saw that and kind of read a little bit of what the story was about, and I can see where Pinocchio would deserve getting a one-shot. In that one, too, the name of the main character is kind of like a play on Jack in the Beanstalk, I think. So he's very good at doing these reimaginings of classic fairy tales. And you get a Pinocchio, it's not Geppetto, it's just Petto in this book, I think is what they call him. But he's a robot in this instance, and not a wooden figurine or puppet like he is. Very sci-fi, but it's very much, he wants to become a real boy. He doesn't think that Petto will accept him unless he does. And I can imagine that all kinds of hilariousness ensues based around that. It's a very sci-fi, almost has a bit of a steampunk flair to it art-wise. It's a very cool looking book. And you can thank artist Ramiro Borrallo for that. The variant artist on this is Dan Scalisi, and letters by Dave Lentz. I actually got to that part of it, I had no idea. I'm like, oh, Dave being sneaky over here. Okay.
Of course.
But, as soon as I read that, I'm like, it would make sense. Anything that he letters, for whatever reason, it's always good. And I think that's probably because Dave's really picky. So, and he has a right to be. But in his pickiness, he gives us a list this long of awesome stuff. That's basically how we found out about Pocus. He gave Jay about a list of 25 comics and said, here's what I'm working on. Is there anything you're interested in?
Yeah.
So, but like I said, sadly, unfortunately, this will end. But I think it'll be like Frank's other works, where you can probably eventually get this on his website. I'm hoping, because I probably will pick up the issue just to check it out. The cool thing as well about his website, he actually has free stuff that you can read on there. Comics, some novels, one-shots, various other things that he's got. So go over there, check it out. You'll at least have an idea of whether you like Frank's work, and hopefully pick up something if you do like one of the free reads.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds...
Yes,
wow.
Who knew we wanted a classic fairy tale? I'm a little all over the place with my picks today, if you can't tell.
Hey man, variety is the spice of life. Normalcy is the herb of death. So let's get on to this next one. There's a funny story about this one, and I'll tell it after I tell you the title. This is Apex, Cybernetic, Samurai Owl, Lunar Eclipse #2. Now, what's funny about this is the first time that I heard of this book, I was watching a live with Dr. Christie and Garrett. They were releasing a special 4-Color Fiends cover and chromium for the very first one. Now, unfortunately, I had already just gotten something from Dr. Christie and Garrett, so I wasn't able to back this or order this. And I told Sean about it. Sean ordered it. He kept the chromium, which he definitely should have, so I still got a copy of it. Well, when Kenny Aitken, who is the creator and writer of this, put out the second volume is what this is. I jumped on that first issue, got a really awesome cover. We did an unboxing for it. It's on the channel somewhere. But anyway, this one is kind of like the same with Pocus and Nell. I want to say that this coming Wednesday, because I didn't get an exact date. I should have asked Kenny before we started, but I completely forgot. I want to say next Wednesday is when this one launches.
January 25th, if I remember the post right.
Okay. So maybe next Wednesday, I don't remember.
Well, while you're talking.
But like all these ones that have, these click the notify on launch buttons, we do that constantly. So it gives us a reminder. Awesome. Gives us a reminder to come back to it. We've found a bunch of cool stuff just by clicking the reminder, and we end up forgetting by the time it launches, and then it launches, we're like, oh, that's right, Dirty Dirt, we like this book. That's why we hit the notify, find me on launch button. But I'm just going to let you, there's another book I have like this. I'm just going to let you go and read the synopsis for this one for yourself. It's great. The book is great.
I can pretty much tell you that the whole beginning of the story is it's an owl that was an experiment that escapes. And basically to find peace, he studies with a samurai for however many years. And then that's how the first arc goes. And then this second arc is where it kicks off.
And some of the animals that get turned into things in this book, awesome.
Yeah. He's not the only experiment.
Yeah.
And you run into a lot of it throughout the series. The art is amazing.
Yeah, this again, this was written and created by Kenny Aitken. Art by Brian Bolondo, who, ever since Pocus, this guy just does not cease to amaze me. Mm-hmm. I'm almost afraid for the indie people that he works with, that somebody big is finally going to be like, we need to snatch this dude now.
I know.
His stuff is amazing.
I think that'll happen once Pocus hits Source. Comes out with Source Point.
You, by all means, check out all the artists on these books. Check out Brian. Brian does amazing stuff. Really awesome guy, too. Really awesome guy. The letters on this were done by Justin Birch, who I know him from some other books, but off the top of my head, I cannot remember because I didn't write any down.
No,
but I know he's one of those, when I hear Justin Birch, I know he's a letterer.
Yep. And pretty much we can honestly say that Justin and Dave, it's a 50-50 split between books that we like on Kickstarter or even in stores, because both of them do a lot of stuff for indie and bigger publishers. Yeah. They're the two letterers that we know the most. Right. So, and then one other, and their name is escaping, but pretty much it's Dave and Justin.
For me, I have a guy named Sean Lee. It's either Sean Lee or Sean Lees. I think he did some stuff with John Lees.
Yeah.
Also, with a couple of these books, since I didn't mention it before, Kit Wallace does some variant covers for this one. And I'm pretty sure he does for Pocus, because he has been doing it for Pocus.
I've seen it. I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know what the kit cover for Pocus 5 is going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. But that's Apex, Cybernetic, Samurai Owl, Lunar Eclipse, #2.
Try saying that 3 times fast, because when we were talking about this video last night, we could not get the order of the words right to save our
Yeah, that's...
Alrighty, so I have Unamas to talk about. I found this like 5 minutes before we started filming because I was like, I need a 7th one. I just wanted to make it an even number. Sitting on 13 was not sitting right with me.
True.
So this is called Asai. This is book 1, and this is written by Marcus Jimenez. Art by Hetor Imatsu. I'm not sure how bad I butchered that, but please let me know in the comments how to actually pronounce it. And then also writer and editor Mark Ostag. This is an American-style shonen manga. So if you are very much into manga-style art, this is the book for you. It is black and white, just like a manga should be. The only difference is you're going from left to right instead of right to left while you're reading. Think dark twists and turns of Chronicles meets the emotional and scientific aspects of the Fantastic Four inside a futuristic shonen world. That's basically the pitch they give you. They actually don't really give you a synopsis at all. It is 40 pages. And like I said, the art looks absolutely amazing. At its core, actually I take that back. At its core, it's about grief and change. What happens when you give two individuals struggling to come to terms with loss immeasurable powers? Who do they become in the wake of such a drastic change? So, yeah, that's all he does. And he basically follows it up with, rather than keep teasing you with a synopsis, he gives you images. And they were absolutely amazing. Like I said, I do like mangas because a lot of times the art is stunning. If you want to talk about some of the best pencils and inks you will see, check out mangas. You will absolutely dig it. I'm excited to see if this gets funded. Right now it's at about 40-ish%. They've got 21 days to go. It ends on February 10th. I hope it gets funded because I want to see more stuff like this out. The one thing I can definitely say, at least for me, I'm not going to speak for him, over the last year is I'm now starting to understand the lure of black and white comics. When it's done well, it looks amazing, and you really don't miss the colors. And a couple of the books that got me to that was Black Jackets. Yeah, it was a black and white. There was one other big one that we got that was the same way, and I'm just like, okay. Oh, actually, it was when we got the black and white of Pocus, and you don't have any of the colors in it. And it's like, wow.
Well, and to be honest about Pocus, really the only color you see is the magical aspect.
That's true. Which is why in the later issues more color gets added, because now you're in hell. But yeah, the first few issues are just a sprinkling. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's the very last one I've got. Hopefully you dig it. Like I said, if you're a manga fan, check it out.
Awesome. So down to my last one. And this one was one I cannot believe I haven't talked about it before. This is Flesh-Eating Cheerleaders from Outer Space 1 through 6. This is still going, fully funded, but it ends Tuesday, January 31st. So get on it quickly. I'm not going to give a synopsis on this one. You just need to visit the page and read it. This thing is wild. It is just wild. This is a book that our good friend Ed Weird, if you end up watching the video, shout out to you, boss. He's a channel member of the Experience where I work, and he's just really cool guy. But this is like a favorite of his.
Okay. And
I saw this. I started reading the synopsis. This is a booby book. There is nudity, but it's gory and funny. So again,
it sounds like a campy 80s comic.
Oh God! When we get done here, you got to look it up.
Okay, I want to check.
You got to look it up.
Edward does have some eclectic taste at times when it comes, but that makes for him bringing up some really cool suggestions.
Exactly. Now this one was written by James Machia. The art was by Felipe Obando. Colors were Beryl Vargas. And then there's just like a bunch of cover artists listed. So again, just like with every campaign we're doing, down in the description, click on the link, go check it out. There's a ton of people we didn't even mention because there's so many people that work on these books.
Yeah.
But that's going to do it for my list. Sean's list is done. So, Sean, I guess there's only one more thing to say.
Yeah, we have one more thing for you. Yeah, we're not done yet. So, we mentioned the name earlier in this video, Dirk Manning. For anybody who is not a fan of the man, what rock are you hiding under? The guy is an absolutely amazing writer. He's an even better human being. Absolutely one of the coolest people that you can ever talk to and meet. Dirk has been writing horror comics now for 20 years. 20. Basically, almost as long as we've been friends.
Yeah.
He has a very cool, it's not, you can say it's a campaign, but it's not really a campaign. He's got a limited edition 20 years of horror thing t-shirt that we're going to put a link to down in the description. You can pre-order these shirts through, I believe it's February 3rd.
Yes.
And then after that date, that's it. You cannot get on these shirts. There's not a limit, right? On the printing, it's just however many pre-orders and that's it, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Custom Ink, I think, is the site. We'll like Sean said, we'll have the link in the description. It's there's male cut shirt, female cut shirt, and hoodies. I don't remember all the sizes.
I know the one shirt, I think they go all the way up to 5X. So if you are a fluffy person, you will be very much able to get yourself a shirt.
But that's not a ploy, folks. Dirk will not have these shirts with him when he travels, when he goes to cons or anything. This is the only time you can get them. Jenna and I have already ordered ours.
I will be ordering mine next Thursday, and we are excited because Dirk, like I said, such a cool person. He wrote Arn Anderson. He wrote the
Butts and Seats,
Butts and Seats, Tales of Mystery, Cthulhu, the kids book, and I'm sorry that I don't know the name.
I thought it was Cthulhu Jr.
Cthulhu Jr. Where a lot of the character, the photo that he's most known for, he basically turned that into a character in the book called
Dastardly Dirk. Yeah.
So we're excited. He, like I said, an amazing human being, deserves all the success, and we hope that everybody who sees this clicks the link, gets a shirt for themselves, because it's a dope shirt. It really is.
And a little added incentive, if Dirk sees you wearing this shirt in the next year, he's got an extra special bonus he's going to give to people that come to the shows and cons he's at that are wearing this shirt.
Yep. We don't even know what it is because he will not tell you.
Nope. Special surprise, he said.
Yep. So, yeah, jump on board. Like I said, I will get my shirt Thursday. They've already got theirs. I'm excited.
Yep. And that's going to be all, folks. Thank you for sticking around this long, going through the chaos that is our videos. We try to keep it, A to Z as best we can. Don't forget, stick around to the very end. Sean, like I always say in my videos, will have something fun popped up probably over his face or my face or both our faces. Y'all have an awesome weekend, and we'll catch you in the next one. Later, tots.